What's up, guys? This is Alex Mellon, and with me is the co-owner of Kaiju Island, Humphrey Gardner. Me and him made Kaiju Island like what, four years ago, I think it was.
About four.
Yeah, 4 years ago, and we started out on Instagram. So before this video even gets started, you guys should definitely follow us at Kaiju_Island. But yeah, just to let it be known, we're co-owning this account, so it's 50% him, 50% me. And today we're going to be doing a video on our first thoughts and a review of Godzilla Monster Planet Part 1. It's already up on Netflix. If you guys haven't watched it, check it out before you check out this review because there will be spoilers. And I'll let you guys know in the title of the YouTube video that this does have a spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen it as of right now, go see it and then come back.
Alright, but yeah, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and give my first impressions of what I thought about Godzilla Monster Planet, and then Humphrey will give his. So what I thought about it was, first going in, I'm an avid anime watcher, so I've already watched a lot of anime, and so I was really excited when I heard that Godzilla and anime were going to be put together. I mean, that's already a match made in heaven. I mean, they're both Japanese culture, they're both Japanese art styles. You know, originally Godzilla was tokusatsu, which is like one of the biggest Japanese art styles there is, along with now anime, and so them being put together was kind of cool. When I saw the trailers, I wasn't too excited for the CGI anime, but it is actually done really well in Godzilla Monster Planet. I actually thought it was really nice, and it was actually really fluent. But the main thing I loved about Godzilla Monster Planet was, like, unlike any other Godzilla movie, it gave so much depth and so much character to the actual human characters, which is what anime is good for. I mean, giving character and character personalities. And I feel like Godzilla Monster Planet portrayed this so well, and they actually made you feel like you wanted the humans to win, like you wanted them to achieve what they wanted to achieve. Because in a lot of other Godzilla movies, I'm just like, fuck yeah, Godzilla, fuck everybody up, destroy everything. You know, like you're always rooting for Godzilla. But in this movie, it actually makes you have a soft spot for the humans, and it gives a personal dilemma because you know you love the kaiju, but you also now want to see the humans win because it has a tragic story for them too. And I feel like this movie just built up emotions between the humans and the kaiju so well, and it just made such an engaging plot to where you actually want to see the other parts. Like most of the plots in Godzilla haven't been too engaging. Even in the 2014 film by Gareth Edwards, the character development wasn't completely engaging, but in this one you're engaged with every aspect, the characters, their situation, the environment, what's going on, and there's so much mystery that leaves you wanting to see the other parts. And those are my first impressions, and I'll let Humphrey go ahead with his.
Alright, so I agree with you on a lot of stuff. I love the movie. There were some characters, I mean, my only gripe with it was there was like a few characters that I thought like maybe the movie could have done without them. And but other than that, like I love the monster part of it. I love the human part of it. I love the whole plot, the story, everything about this movie. I like. I don't like it as much as Shin Godzilla. I think it's a better movie than 2014, honestly. Sorry to all you Monarch fans out there, MonsterVerse fans. But yeah. My first thoughts is it's really good, and I can't wait for the second part to come out. And yeah,
But
so the first thoughts.
yeah, we also got some views of some other kaiju from different universes in that too. I mean, they were all Toho kaiju, but it was definitely cool to see how this movie. Now we're getting more in depth. Spoiler alert. Also, go ahead and let you know. But now to get in more in depth, we saw other kaiju like Godzilla. We saw what was the other one? I haven't seen that movie yet.
Dagora and Origa.
Yeah, we saw Orga, but what was the other one? The tentacle monster.
Yeah, it's Dagora.
Dagora, yeah, we saw Dagora as well, and they also mentioned Hedorah. But I thought it was awesome how they mentioned that.
Yeah, I forgot about Hedorah. I forgot about that.
But they mentioned all of these kaiju, and it made it so awesome how they mentioned that like all of these kaiju were together destroying the planet, and it just, I don't know, it gave you the sense of like the apocalypse was really here. And then when Godzilla came up on the screen, they really made it like official that he was like the god of destruction. He was the one who was bringing the end to everything. And so when we start out, we see the tragic loss of the main character's parents through Godzilla, which drives his revenge to want to destroy him. And and everybody who watches anime already knows that like characters with a deep desire for revenge are always the best because there's always huge emotion driving that plot. Just like Eren Yeager wanting to kill all of the Titans because his mom died from a Titan. This is just like that, and all anime fans just love that story arc. No matter how overused it is, everybody loves it. And so when I was thinking, it just had all the elements of an anime that you love, and it also had all the elements of a kaiju film that you could possibly love. Um,
It's my favorite character.
so the main character, Haro, so that's probably me and Humphrey's favorite character. We both agree that Haro, the main character, he's definitely our favorite with his drive for revenge and everything. But now I wanna go ahead and talk about Godzilla's new and awesome abilities. So I'll go ahead and let Humphrey kick off what he thinks about the new abilities.
The Well, the atomic breath. I mean, it's not new, but it looks cool, and it's. I love the way that it looks and the way it like functions. I guess, and I guess the force field that he has of made of electromagnetic waves. That's pretty awesome, and it's a cool concept. And I liked how they had to deal with that, and it was like dire stakes. How they had to figure out a way to find this organ and stuff, and it was weird how it ended up being in his spines.
Obviously, when they were talking about that, I already knew like from the beginning that it was going to be his spines. Like his spines are like what charge up blue and everything. Like for some reason, I just kind of figured it was going to be his spines. I mean,
I thought it was gonna be an organ in his body, like they said.
nah, dude. For some reason, I knew it was gonna be the dorsal fins, like, dude, because it's just like because every time he used the blast and everything, and every time he always uses his atomic breath, it's always what lights up, and just like in some of the Godzilla movies where lightning strikes his dorsal fins and everything, I mean that's what charges his power and everything. I mean, I kind of figured it would be the spines, but either way, they led it to believe that it would be another organ, But in my opinion, I love the atomic breath. I love how it charged up and it was just like an instant blast of just like this beam of destruction. It was so awesome. And then right when you thought you had seen it all, the bigger Godzilla, extra spoiler alert, the bigger Godzilla, the main Godzilla, he had this awesome like, it was like it was like a subatomic wave almost. It's sort of like a high frequency wave. It wasn't even an atomic breath. It was more of like a high frequency wave.
I think they were saying it was like because they were saying earlier in the movie that it was something gigawatts or something.
Yeah, it was more like it was kind of like a giant.
It's a more evolved atomic breath. I think.
I think it's more of like an EMP kind of blast. Like it's an electromagnetic wave blast, but it's not an atomic breath. It's like more of an electromagnetic blast. And then also how he had that epic like God swing of like an atomic tail swipe. I thought that was freaking awesome. He like wiped out.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, he wiped out like so much area with just this one tail swipe, and it really gives you the idea like in this Godzilla Monster Planet, like they really set out to make you believe that like Godzilla is a god. Like he's actually like a god. Like that's like he's always been the king of monsters and he has the name Godzilla, which originally, Japan it was Gojira, but I mean Godzilla is the name that he's been given, and I mean you can tell and like they want you to believe that he's a god incarnate, and like in this film you can see how powerful he is. He definitely lives up to that name, and and so now, go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
I got some new news. Well, I just never knew this, but I thought it when I saw it, but Haru, the main character.
Yeah.
I mean, they call him Haru in the movie, but he is named after Haru Nakajima from Godzilla, the Godzilla suit actor guy.
Oh, that's awesome. Another thing I want to mention is like the biology of Godzilla has definitely changed in this movie. When he first took over the planet, nobody kind of knew what Godzilla was. They didn't know like why he came around or anything. But now, when they come back to the planet 20,000 years later, they've only been gone for 20 years outside of the solar system, but it's 20,000 years back on Earth. And it turns out that all of the plant life and even some of the other monsters like the servums, which are flying kind of like Godzilla incarnates, they're all made from Godzilla's biology. They're not exactly the same, but they're really similar, and it makes me believe they haven't fully announced it yet, or they haven't really given any clues to it, but my speculations are that Godzilla has a biology of his own, and that he can spread to, like, other life forms, or possibly use his biology to, like, terraform planets, and a lot of the plants and servums have the same biology as Godzilla, so it leads me to believe that Godzilla actually, like, is a god, that he's creating, like, his own planet or his own universe, which is so awesome. And I love how the Godzilla in Monster Planet is like the biggest one we've seen yet. The actual Godzilla is bigger than every other Godzilla that's been in films so far.
Yeah, I think I saw a size thing in 2014, like goes up to his knee or something. It's something crazy like that.
Yeah, he's fucking insane. But
Yeah,
so yeah, really, in my opinion, overall, the basics of it is that I mean, this is like an all out apocalypse. Like the world's been lost and they're trying to take it back type story. I mean, it's got everything you could want. It's got it's got emotion. It's got an actual plot with the characters. It's got relationships between the characters that are slowly being developed. It's got tragedy. It's also got triumph and revenge, and it's also got Godzilla, a giant monster, and it also mentions other monsters. And so far we have no idea. We might even see more kaiju be introduced because they make it obvious in the beginning of the anime that there are other kaiju in that universe and that they could possibly come back and there could be other monster battles. And I would love to see Godzilla pitted against another kaiju, especially this Godzilla. I would love to see how he fights. But
yeah. Well, I mean, they teased Mechagodzilla.
yeah,
And
that's
the
what.
design, the design is badass.
Yeah,
Number
the new Mechagodzilla design is fucking awesome. I thought that too.
Yeah, I thought that too, but like a lot of people were like commenting saying, "Oh, doesn't look like Mechagodzilla." Like, come on, man! It's like cool. It's like the new like design with the like fins at the top and stuff, you know.
I think that the reason is just like people don't like change, but you can't have the same thing forever. I mean, why not try to make it more? Why not try to make it more new? Why not try to give a fresh design? I mean, Godzilla's
Yeah,
gotten so
I think
many.
I think it looks great. I mean,
Yeah,
I see where people are coming from. Like they want the original Mechagodzilla kind of look, but I mean,
yeah.
I love the new design.
Yeah, I think it looks awesome. And I think it gives a fresh face to Mechagodzilla. I mean, Mechagodzilla hasn't changed very much over his designs, and Godzilla's changed so fucking much from the beginning. It's ridiculous. But I mean, it's always been for the better. Even though some people doubt it because they're like, oh, Godzilla's part plant, or oh, he's so big and grandpa looking. Like, dude, come on, he's a giant god incarnate. I mean. I mean, in this movie, I think he was more badass than ever. I mean, he literally, he royally fucked shit up.
I think it was just before they got to see him or whatever. Because
Yeah.
like I remember thinking that before Shin Godzilla, I was like, oh, he looks like a burnt turkey or something. And then when I saw the movie, I was like, oh my god, this is so cool, and like I love this Godzilla.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
felt
mean?
the same way about Shin Godzilla. It took me the second time watching it fully throughout to really appreciate it, and I actually really started to enjoy it. I still stick with my original comments that the second and third form that I saw. I mean, they were kind of goofy. They were kind of goofy looking, but like his all out fourth form, which isn't even his final form, but his fourth form looked fucking badass. And I mean, he was just a force to be reckoned with. And
I think the second and third form, I think they both look cool.
yeah,
In
I mean,
my
I think they look all right, but they look a little weird to me. But this isn't a Shin Godzilla talk. This is back on Godzilla Monster Planet, and but yeah. So really, if you guys love action, you love anime, and you watch this review, regardless of if you wanted to see spoilers, if you're watching this and haven't watched the movie, I'm telling you, go ahead check it out now. It's definitely worth your time. And if you don't have Netflix, you can always get a free trial and check out the movie if that's if you don't have Netflix and that's the only thing you want to watch up there, you can get a free trial of Netflix and check it out. But if you've seen the movie and you're just watching what other people think, yeah, we definitely think it's a movie worth checking out. I think me and Humphrey both agree. My rating, and in my opinion, I think I'd give it. Honestly, I mean, I'd love to give it as a Netflix rating between 1 and 5 stars. Honestly, I'd give it 5 stars, if not 4.8 or something. Because I mean, it's nice to see a Godzilla story with so much character development and so much plot and so much actual what's the word for it? So much actual drive and like sense of apocalypse. Like it's been a long time since I've actually seen a Godzilla movie that makes me feel for the humans and also the monster. I mean, all together, and it makes me look forward to the new part. So, and honestly, like not being biased as a kaiju fan, I've seen a lot of movies. I'm an avid movie watcher as well, but movie wise, I'd love to give this a 5, like close to a 5 star, if not 4.5. In my opinion, I think it's definitely that worth it. But what about you?
Back onto what I forgot to mention, the character that I could do without is that girl character. Like they kind of like showed that she was important, but she wasn't. It was like, I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I feel like as an anime, looking at it from an anime aspect, the more characters, the better. No matter how many characters they have in it, they're gonna have characters they want to kill off, so they're gonna need a lot of characters. And the girl character, I feel like, is obviously put there as a love interest because everybody always wants a love interest, no matter how relevant she is. But I
Yeah,
mean,
but she didn't really do anything in this movie. I mean, like I
I
feel
mean,
like this
she'll
was,
okay. Well, she didn't do much, but in the end, she did power the mech. But she did drive the mech and actually do something by driving one of the EMPs into Godzilla's spines. So I did think she did a little bit in that part. So I
yeah,
mean,
and another point I just came up with just by thinking about it was maybe the movie could have been a little bit longer and like had like them exploring more. You know what I mean? But I
yeah.
mean that's just like
But I mean,
uh,
an hour and 30 minutes for only one part of what we're getting. Possibly, I don't know how many parts for an hour and 30 minutes. I think it was definitely worth it. And
no, I'm saying that I was
yeah,
just saying just if I were to find a gripe, that was what I would you know.
but either way, just to mention real quick before we get off the subject of our rating, um, another part I thought was just awesome is how they killed the smaller Godzilla. It was just like in that part you actually wanted them to succeed. Like how they did it was so awesome. Like how they timed their attacks and how they had to do it at a crucial moment was just so awesome. And how the main
Yeah,
character,
I loved every minute of that part, like that whole thing. Like I
yeah, it
loved
was
it.
it was so freaking intense. But either way, what do you give the movie rating wise
I'm gonna give it
out of five?
out of 5. I'm not like the best movie reviewer in the world, but I'm gonna give it like a 4.5 out
Yeah,
of
that's what
5.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think, but yeah, guys. I mean, we would go more in depth, but I think we've covered pretty much everything we think about it. I mean, the movie's awesome. It's got some really awesome mystery to it. It's got some awesome changes to your traditional Godzilla, but they're not changes that will make you mad. They're actually like really nice and like they add that story element to the anime. But if you guys are anime fans and Godzilla fans, this is like the mashup that was meant to happen. I mean, anime and Godzilla. I mean, come on, it's like what more
Yeah.
could you ask
Before we,
for?
I wanted to say the 3D anime. I thought that was gonna look like crap, but when I watched the movie, I was like, that looks awesome, and I
Yeah,
like it.
it's definitely better than an anime I've seen mentioned before. Jin. I've never watched it, but the CG anime looks like shit. And I'm sorry if you guys are like hardcore Jin fans and you're gonna tear my ass apart for it, but that anime looks like shit. I'm just saying. Sorry to all you weebs out there who love it, but yeah, definitely this CG anime is pretty awesome and it actually looks really good. But I think this is gonna pretty much conclude our review. If you got any final statements, Humphrey?
Uh, in my notes, I'd say the only thing I didn't touch on was well, number one, I love Godzilla's evolution. That's just said. That's just easy said. And number two, all the mechs, they're cool. All the technology and stuff that they have in space and
Yeah.
all the stuff. Like I love that too.
You brought me to another point. One last thing. I love the situation before they went back to Earth, like how they mentioned that being in space, all the people were having psychological effects. They were getting short on food, water, and
Yeah.
just like how desperate the situation was, and how the movie started out at such a tense moment. I thought all of that was just like so awesome, and how they really just they brought that scene of like we need to find somewhere to go like now, and like how desperate the situation was. I love that so much.
Yeah. I love that too. Like same here. And the what is it? Another thing I think that they could use for sequels in the future. Didn't you hear the alien guy? He said that more monsters had taken over other worlds that they
Yeah.
had been. So maybe King Ghidorah or Gigan or something.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, I would love to see any kaiju or any classic kaiju from the Godzilla universe, or even ones just from the Toho universe that aren't Godzilla related square up against Godzilla. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
But yeah, and I think the main thing we can agree here is that the movie was great, and like now it's just where's the next one at, and how long do we have to wait? Because I feel like everybody who's watched this movie is just definitely ready for it. I mean, I'm stoked to see the next one. I'm stoked to see what the next one has to offer.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the second part, just as you do. I'm same page with you, really, on everything.
But if you guys, if you guys don't know, or if you didn't listen at the very beginning of the video, we have an Instagram account. It's been our longest running social media. We're trying to get this YouTube up and running, but our Instagram is definitely our cream of the crop right now. It's at Kaiju_Island. Follow us. We'll have news updates for anything we hear about the Godzilla Monster Planet Part 2. Any news updates we have about that, we'll update you there, and I'll try to update you on YouTube. And we're trying to slowly move a lot of our major content to YouTube, like stuff that we can't fit in on Instagram, we'd like to fit in on YouTube. And you guys just like, subscribe, and comment. And also, if you're looking forward to more figure reviews, don't get so down. We have those coming. We're just waiting until we can get together to review them together.
Yeah,
So
there might be a few little reviews in the meantime between me or him. It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, but the fact of that is we live kind of far away, but once we get together, we're going to record them. We're just going to record a shit ton of reviews, and we'll post them in increments, and that way we should be able to record a lot together. We just want to kind of keep this together as it's co-owned, but we still will have some single reviews every now and then. But this has been it for the Godzilla Monster Planet. This has been it for the speculations, what we think, our first thoughts, and our initial review, and just any other points that we had about it. This has been it for that video. This is pretty much a discussion video / review. And this has been Alex Melton.
This has been Humphrey Gardner.
And like I said, just check us out at Kaiju_Island on Instagram. Subscribe, like, and comment. And we will be back to discuss more things inevitably in the future. And if you guys hate us, fuck you. And if you guys like us, then you should totally like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you later, Humphrey.